Welcome everyone. I'm Dr. Behavior with Core Methods. I'm a sensory expert who specializes in behavior regulation, and today I'm joined by one of my behaviorists, Sarah, who's going to help me walk through our top 10 tips to achieve better sleep. Let's get started. So you already know how not getting enough sleep can significantly impact your health, and you're probably looking to see what can be done to improve your sleep habits. In this video, we're going to break down our top 10 tips for achieving better sleep so you can start recognizing and implementing these changes right away. These tips can apply to you, or they can be utilized when working with a student or family member who's demonstrating signs of sleep deprivation. Before jumping into the tips, it is important to understand what melatonin is and the role it plays in the body. The body has an optimum time for when it would like to go to sleep. This is referred to as one's own circadian rhythm. Your brain produces melatonin, a hormone released by the pineal gland in response to light and darkness. When there is more darkness, melatonin production increases to aid the body in falling asleep. This is how our bodies create their own circadian rhythm. Without a healthy production of melatonin, the body finds it challenging to get to sleep and to stay asleep. If the pineal gland is not functioning properly, it can be very challenging for the body to determine if it is night or day. Melatonin suppression is a key factor that can prevent you from achieving your best sleep. With melatonin in mind, let's get started on our first tip for achieving better sleep.
Tip number 1 is to avoid light exposure, specifically blue light. Blue light comes off our screens, such as our phones, our tablets, and should start to be reduced or avoided about 2 hours prior to sleep. Melatonin suppression can be caused by increased light or blue light exposure. This is because the blue light from our screens trick your brain into thinking it's still daylight and will encourage the body to decrease melatonin production to stay awake. This kind of melatonin suppression can come from blue light, fluorescent light, and many types of medications, including beta blockers, antidepressants, and estrogen-containing medications. While our phones, tablets, and TVs have a place during the day, they should be avoided or limited in the hours before sleep if possible. This allows our bodies to better adjust to their circadian rhythm. Our circadian rhythm is the optimum time that our bodies naturally go to sleep. When you get tired and head to bed, do you ever stay awake and look at your phone? If so, do you ever feel more awake than when you originally went to bed? This is because our bodies will get a second wind if the time period in our circadian rhythm has passed, where we tend to fall asleep. That second wind is actually the release of cortisol in the brain, which inhibits melatonin. You may be going to bed when you feel tired, but the screen time will suppress melatonin production and ultimately prevent your brain from recharging. By avoiding light exposure as you begin preparing for bed, you allow your body the right setting to produce melatonin and prepare to rest.
Tip number 2 is to check the room temperature and potentially cool down the room for the ideal sleep setting. In order to fall asleep, the body needs to be able to reduce its internal temperature by 2 to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. 67 degrees Fahrenheit is the optimal temperature for the human body to sleep. This is why it can be difficult to fall asleep in a hot or humid room. Your body has a more challenging time cooling down. If you're able to turn on a fan or an air conditioner when getting ready to sleep, you can reduce the time it takes for your body temperature to drop, allowing you to fall asleep more quickly. If the body is too cold, you may still experience issues staying asleep. The body has a built-in mechanism that will keep our extremities from freezing. If the hands or feet are too cold, the body will wake up as a safety precaution to keep those body parts from freezing. If you can, keep your hands and feet warm. You are more likely to stay asleep.
Tip number 3 is closely connected to body temperature as well. If you're struggling to fall asleep each night, try and take a bath or a shower before bed. Taking a warm bath or shower before bed is a great way to control your body temperature to increase sleep hygiene. A warm bath or shower causes the body temperature to rise slightly. Upon exiting the bath or sauna, the body temperature naturally decreases by an average of 2 degrees. This ties to the last tip of controlling the temperature. Our bodies are highly dictated by the environment around us. A bath or shower before bed may be just the right way to relax and cool down before a good night's sleep. For an added bonus, I also suggest adding Epsom salt to your bath. Epsom salt is a source of magnesium, and magnesium is known to help the body assimilate other key nutrients. It's often used as a sleep aid. Be sure to consult your physician first if you feel this may be helpful for you. To see which product we recommend, reference our kit.co page.
Arguably, the most difficult tip to apply, tip number 4, is to clear your mind as you're preparing for sleep. Having a quiet space allows the mind to relax and move into the first phase of sleep. Try to avoid talking or listening to anything with words while you're actively trying to sleep. Your brain will automatically focus on the content. In addition to consumable content, clear away your inner dialogue. Have you had the experience where your inner dialogue won't quiet down while you're trying to sleep? Our inner dialogue can cause stress or anxiety that can also keep us from falling and staying asleep. When cortisol levels are high, the body experiences stress that keeps us awake. Try using white noise to clear your mind if your inner dialogue is taking up too much space. A few other strategies to help clear your mind before bed are to try the Stonehenge pose or legs up the wall for 4 minutes or more. This will help drain the lactic acid in the legs and relieve stress and fatigue. Focus on your breathing. Try breathing in through the nose for 7 seconds and out through the mouth for 11 seconds. That rhythm will force the body into the parasympathetic nervous system and make it challenging to trigger the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of the brain that triggers fight, flight, or freeze and is responsible for releasing adrenaline. Your amygdala can keep you from sleeping by revving up your nervous system. Take a few breaths and allow your body to relax. Try some kind of visualization to create a restful space, such as memories of a favorite experience. Try to meditate. Meditation has been proven to support the stimulation of the pineal gland, which is the gland that supports the creation of melatonin. Meditation can be an incredibly effective way to get good at clearing your mind.
Moving on to tip number 5, avoid caffeine before bed. Caffeinated beverages can keep the body revved up, making it challenging to fall asleep and stay asleep. Avoid caffeine in all food or drink at least 2 hours before going to sleep, and try to eat a small protein snack within 2 hours of bed to keep your body full and asleep. Nuts, a small amount of fish, chicken, cherries, or a protein shake are all filling examples that would aid in a quality night's sleep.
Our 6th tip for achieving better sleep hygiene is to incorporate exercise into your routine. However, exercise should be avoided in the 2 hours before sleep. Exercise allows the body to burn energy and release tension. When you exercise, the brain releases endorphins and serotonin, both of which make the body feel more awake. Vigorous exercise that releases higher quantities of these hormones can help the brain feel more awake for the day, but it can also wake the body and make it more challenging to fall asleep if it's done before bed.
Tip number 7 is to avoid alcohol and tobacco altogether to improve your overall sleep hygiene. While it may feel like alcohol can help you fall asleep, it can actually keep you from achieving stages 3 and 4 of the sleep cycle, which is the restorative phase of sleep. This is where you regenerate your energy. Tobacco products have a similar impact on your body as well.
Tip number 8 is to read a book, hopefully a good one. Reading is considered one of the best activities when preparing the body for sleep and for creating a positive sleep hygiene schedule. It helps to fatigue the mind and creates constant activity that does not involve blue light. Reading is a great alternative to TV before bed because there are no artificial lights impacting the body's melatonin output. Without these suppressants, the body can more easily produce melatonin and prepare for rest. In addition, reading fatigues the brain in the eyes, helping you to fall asleep more quickly. Reading on a device can still create that routine to support healthy sleep. However, I recommend you wear blue light glasses to avoid suppressing your melatonin output.
My 9th tip is to try taking a nap during the day. Naps are actually a great way to improve your sleep hygiene. However, they need to be taken early enough during the day to not impact your ability to fall asleep at night. Typically, naps make the most impact before 12 p.m., and if they're 2 hours or less, which is a full cycle of sleep. If you don't have time to take a nap, a resting pose can be a wonderful alternative to help rejuvenate the body during the day if the body needs additional rest. The body is not inactive when sleeping, so a restorative pose can be more effective as it forces the body into rest. For an added bonus, be sure to think about when you spend time in your bed. The bed should be associated with sleep. If your body thinks your bed is a place to eat, hang out, or scroll through your phone, then you'll likely find it more challenging to jump into a sleep or a nap. Make your space ideal for sleeping.
For tip 10, you may want to try to create a sleep routine. By creating a consistent routine that you follow each night before bed, you will begin to signal your brain in advance that it needs to begin preparing for sleep. A consistent routine can combat stress and anxiety, aiding in your ability to fall and stay asleep. If you haven't already, I recommend you begin establishing what the nighttime routine looks like for you. This is a great way to test out which tips in this video work best for you.
After implementing these tips, if you're still experiencing trouble with proper sleep hygiene, you may want to consider discussing sleep medications with your physician. Sleep medication inhibits the release of cortisol in the body, which means it can be very challenging to wake up after use. These medications may aid in falling and staying asleep, but they've been known to leave people feeling groggy or lightheaded or more exhausted than before. While sleep medication may look like a direct solution, the after effects can keep someone from feeling alert for several hours. You may actually be better off without it. Talk to your doctor about the potential benefits and risks of sleep medication before use.
That wraps up our top 10 tips for achieving better sleep. We've talked about how we sleep, why we need sleep, and how we can help our bodies better prepare for sleep. Temperature, light exposure, exercise, and meditation are just a few of the ways we've explored sleep hygiene. And I hope you've been able to take away at least one tip to help you improve your overall sleep health. Head into our next module for a quick knowledge check on the materials so far and access to helpful resources on sleep hygiene. If you have any questions about the material covered in this lesson, please feel free to leave a comment in the chat below or reach out to us directly at support@coremethods.com. See you in the next video.